behind us here, we've got our Mojave, our Gladiator Mojave, and we've done some little bit of upgrades on that one. We'll take a look at it. The ST pneumatic sway bar. Yeah, finally we got a disconnect sway bar that you can just punch from the inside. Hit the button, disconnect, stays disconnected. You know, if you've got a Rubicon or whatever, the annoyance of having that sway bar reconnect when you get over 18 miles an hour and then you have to remember to turn it back off. Annoying. So we went pneumatic on this one. The arm itself ties onto the sway bar, which is a torsion bar, 4140. It's like a mean little bar there, so it gets a lot of resistance to give you some stability on the highway. Goes down to our sway bar links it's actually a joint at the top and a bushing at the bottom, so it's quiet. You're not going to listen to the things. But the real magic happens when you get over into the center of the bar, because there's two different shafts that have to connect inside the release mechanism. Now that's inside of that thing, we're talking hardened teeth, we're talking Teflon bushings. The thing is designed to just last and then to be quiet and to easily actuate in and out. And I've been running them for, I don't know, probably the last year or so. And it's pretty impressive how well the vacuum holds on them. They're not a leaky thing at all. They've really double sealed them, and it's a tight little setup. So that release completely releases that front end, lets that sway bar move, so it gets rid of all that head toss while you're going down that bumpy trail. And it also lets them flex out all the way. You got no resistance to that 13 inches of travel that these front coilovers have. The ST pneumatic sway bar. It's a tight little setup. You gotta have a place to put your winch. Well, there we go. You got the Crest Rock Guard TeraFlex front bumper here. So, speaking of the winches, it's designed to fit a center drum or an offset with the bolt holes underneath there. This is center drum, so it's just set up with the center. But it'll take either one. So that's the big one. It'll hold them. It's got an 1 3/4 bar on it for a bull bar, just to give you that protection on the front. D-ring mounts are bolted directly to the frame. All trimmed back in there, 40-inch tires, turn back and forth, full flex. They're not rubbing. The rear end of these things has got some suspension magic that happens. This is our extended travel sway bar on the rear. Remember how your stock sway bar has the links that hang way down and drag in the gravel? Reversed it up to the top so that sway bar's up and out of the way and gives us full suspension travel. These guys have 16 inches of suspension travel in the rear end, where like a factory, you know, the Mojave, which is what this thing is, factory Mojave ones are all proud, come up with 10 inches of travel. Yeah, 16. So it's pretty impressive. We did the coilover on this one, because you can get that 16 inches of travel with a regular 3.5 TeraFlex Falcon shock on it. But over the years, we just keep modifying this bad boy, and it's the full meal deal this time. We're talking coilover shocks on it. Still has the full adjustability, 3-position up there with the micro adjustment available to you in the 2nd position. But the quiet, no threads on these things. They're just dead silent. They travel up and down. It's got the long arm suspension on it. It's actually available. You can do the coilover as an upgrade on the long arm suspension if you've already got it. So that'll be available to you. This is a factory arm. It's just a regular fixed bushing on it. You can see the resistance in that arm. So with the IR bushing, it has an independent rotation bushing in it that lets you just move the arm. You think about having, you know, all 8 arms on there, 16 bushings, all resisting your ride. It makes a difference in how they ride to be able to have it just float along. It lets the shocks do its job. Here's how the magic works. So here's the bushing. Internally, this is a very hardened piece of material here with O-rings on the outside of it. It's all pre-lubricated. Put them on, forget them. But those guys let it rotate, and zero maintenance. Just put them on, forget them. You think about a bushing and it's getting twisted like this is, it's just wrapping it up. So if you're wrapping it up and then twisting sideways with your axle, you're going like that and breaking it like that. It's hard on rubber. So by getting rid of one of those loads, there's no more twist on it. That bushing just goes. Now the bushing can just flex and compress and come back. So they actually make a difference in the way your Jeep rides. Speed bumps are just a good solid bump stop is built into it. This one's got a TeraFlex 60, the rear axle in it. So that's the 8-lug full float, Delta 4-piston calipers, 14-inch rotors. Stopping power is all there. Okay, so we gave you a little glimpse of the coilovers there on the Gladiator. We just moved across the aisle to the Falcon booth. So we got one laid out here so we can take a close look at it and just give you some of the features. We'll start at the top up here. Okay, this is going to support all the weight of your vehicle because the shock and spring, that's it, it's your springs. So we've got a bearing surface in here. This thing is sealed and dead quiet and flexes as the shock needs to. Remember, we've still got our adjustability. So there's our soft all the way up to the firm, and in the medium setting, you can go adjusting the finer settings to whatever you'd like to set it at. All the adjustability is still here. Speaking of adjustability, check out this. There are no threaded nuts that need to be run up and down the coilover. This whole surface just pulls down, and there's a snap ring in there, and you can just jump it up and pull it up. We even give you a tool to pull them down, so it's really easy to adjust your height on it. Moving down, coil springs, it's of course a dual rate, so we got the softer rate up here and the firmer rate down here. On a coilover, you can get a true dual rate because once you transition from the soft to the firm one, it's 100% the stiffer spring, and that really works for you when you're going through the desert and you're pounding through the whoops and it's bottoming out. That heavier spring really keeps you from bottoming out. But really the magic of these things, coilovers have always been kind of a noisy, squeaky, messy thing, and you don't want to put some squeaky piece of garbage on your $80,000 rig that you just bought. So we made these things, our engineers just spent some time and made them quiet, which is one of the things I really appreciate about them. The body is a smooth, hard anodized body, and this slider is actually a Teflon lined slider in here, so it's a bearing surface. It's got seals on both ends, and these are tough little seals. We coated these things in mud and slid them up and down. It doesn't hurt those seals, but it just keeps the grease trapped inside, and so as it slides up and down this body, dead quiet. But the springs are two different rates, so you've got a softer one that twists that way, and the other one isn't going to twist twice or as much, we should say. This guy sits between them. There's the secret right there, a little roller bearing in there, so that when these two springs are twisting, they're going at different rates like that. That roller bearing is letting it do that. You're not getting the bang, 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 the scream. You can listen to a typical coilover and they are annoying. So these things are dead quiet. We did a trail yesterday with it, and I remember coming off a big obstacle, and the trail guide was spotting, and he's like, how do you even know you're driving this thing? It's dead quiet. Yeah, I love quiet. So there's that, same bearing down at the other end. So there's a real quick overview of the coilovers. They're hard anodized finish, 1,000-hour salt spray tested. They just take the abuse and keep on clicking. Let's just take a quick look at our Uinta crossbar system in the back of the Gladiator here. This is actually a pretty cool little rack system. It's all adjustable height-wise, and it ties into your bed rail system. Uses our TeraFlex anchor brackets that are actually made of metal instead of those plastic ones that come with the factory. So this bar uses the bolts that are in the anchor bracket to tie to, and then it has adjustments in it so you can go up and down about a 5-inch change of height in this thing. And then once it's on, because they're adjustable, you can slide it back and forth through the rail system and adjust them wherever you need them to be. This bad boy will hold 200 pounds banging down the road, but it'll hold 1,000 pounds for that tent, because we know you're going to be crawling in there. The adjustability on this thing, where this T-Series 10 slots are in this extruded aluminum piece across the top, lets you, God, the different brackets and stuff that are available out there, it's just, they're everywhere. So you can do bike racks, whatever, and mount into this thing. So very versatile little rack. It's all 1,000-hour salt spray tested, anodized aluminum. It's just awesome.